What's up, guys? C5 Made Destroyer here. Today, I got quite an interesting topic. I'm not sure if it's super known how much of a big fan of Hi-Rez I am. I enjoy pretty much everything they do for the most part, and I am really excited for their next project. You may ask, what is their next project? That is a good question. The next project is a third-person shooter with some Counter-Strike elements, with some Rainbow Six elements, with some Fortnite elements. Just a really nice, it seems like a really nice collage of a lot of different games to come together to make something great. Now, I have played the game on PC. And I enjoy it thoroughly. I feel like the design of it, everything is well thought out in the game. It's only an alpha right now. If you would like an alpha code, I would advise you can go through giveaways. You can apply for them like I have. I've applied for multiple, but I actually ended up buying one. So if you go to MMOgamerstore.com, you can pay about $5. It's a pretty really cheap. You can do the same for a Valorant code, but it's much more expensive, about like around $150. But you can pay around $5 for a code for Rogue Company and hop into the PC alpha. Unfortunately, console players cannot get codes. You can't buy codes. You would have to wait for a console code to come through to your email by applying for one at roguecompany.com. But I highly advise you to apply for one, because if you do get one, you're going to enjoy yourself a lot. Okay, so I'm going to get into why it is I'm so excited for this game. Okay, the main reason I'm super excited for this game is basically just the fact that Hi-Rez is doing it. Okay, Hi-Rez is a very consumer-friendly developer. They focus on making high-quality, free-to-play experiences that aren't pay-to-win. They focus on really cool cosmetics. They focus on competitive experiences. So if you don't know much about Hi-Rez, their two most popular games are Smite and Paladins. Now, I want to go through my relationship with these games. I love Smite. Smite is one of my favorite games. I'm just not good at it. You can imagine I play a lot of shooters. Skills don't really transfer over very well. I'm just not good at Smite. Paladins is also one of my favorite games, probably of all time, and I enjoy Paladins thoroughly. I've been playing it a lot over this whole pandemic ordeal. The time I haven't been playing it, I've been kind of getting outside of what I usually play. I haven't been playing much Modern Warfare. I haven't been playing much Battlefield 5 because that game is kind of subpar, you guys know. But I've been playing a lot of Paladins. I've been playing a little bit of Smite, and when I'm not doing that, the last couple days I've been playing a lot of Sid Meier's Civilization. That's a lot of fun. But my relationship with Paladins and Smite is really good. I thoroughly enjoy both of the games. I think the games are well designed. I think the visuals are great. While I don't think that Hi-Rez is big on polish, and I'll go into why that is in a little bit. I don't feel that they're big on polish, but I do feel that they put a lot of effort into everything that they do, and they don't have a big AAA budget all the time. And I think what they do for not having that huge AAA budget is super impressive. Another reason I'm super into Hi-Rez is their business models. Their business models have been amazing for a very, very long time. When everyone came out and commended Epic for Fortnite's business model, I was kind of puzzled. I never really said anything because I was making content on Fortnite and I didn't really want to slander the game, I didn't want to. I liked the game. The game was fine, and everything was fine with the game, so I didn't really want to say anything. But Hi-Rez has been doing basically the same thing. The only real microtransactions that are in that are in a high-res game are for cosmetics. Okay, cosmetics and other items in the game. Mostly cosmetics though. There are battle passes in Smite and Paladins, but they both just have cosmetics throughout, and then they both give you currency to just buy more cosmetics. Another form of monetization they have, both Smite and Paladins kind of work a, hero system. One's a MOBA and one is a hero shooter. So they do have passes for all the characters that are only $30 for both games, I believe. I think Paladin's pass actually went down to 20, and if you have PlayStation Plus or it goes on sale or it goes on sale at all, it'll be around $15 or $10. It's a great value. So what these things do, what these passes do, is they open up every single hero or god or champion in your respective game up forever. So any new champion that comes out in Paladins, I have it. Any new god that comes out in Smite, I have them. Off rip, I can hop on the game. I can try to insta lock them as soon as possible before somebody else gets them, and I can try my best to get the character, play as the character, have fun with the character, see if I like the character or not, and then usually go back to my mains. And I think this is a step over something like Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six has a $60 price tag most of the time. It goes on sale a lot now because the game is really deep in its cycle. We're going on like year 5. But that game has a $60 price tag, and they have different passes for each year. They have a year 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pass. Whereas these free to play games have a 30, like a 20, anywhere from like a $20 to $40 range pass for basically all of the important content forever for those games. And that is like a huge thing for me. Like, that's awesome. I can have all the content for this game to the end of time. For a while, I took a huge break on Paladins. Till recently, I wasn't playing a lot of Paladins. But when I got back on, there was all these new champions for me to use. There's Tiberius, there's Rom, there's Io, there's Dredge. Like, there's all these characters that I haven't played, that I didn't get to play with, because the last time I was playing the game, like, kind of heavily, it was back when Furia came out. So there's all these different champions I can play as, and there's just all this different new stuff that I can do, and that's like a perk to having something like that in your lineup for monetization. It's just a really consumer friendly thing. It's great for the players. It's really good for the community. And it's good, and they've been doing this for a long time. Epic wasn't the first one to go the cosmetics route in their free to play titles, and I commend Hi-Res for that. So now that we're done with the kind of prerequisites to the conversation for Rogue Company. Rogue Company, as I said, is kind of a hero shooter. It's based in competition. It's a competitive shooter. There's an ecosystem. There's the maps are good. Some maps more suited for certain playstyles and certain team comps. Some maps are more suited for like Phantom, which she's kind of like a sniper. Some maps are more suited for like a lancer to do well, somebody who gets extra movement speed as one of their abilities, and has shotguns. It's the game seems as if it's designed very well. Now, there was one glaring issue with Rogue Company when I first saw gameplay for it. When I first saw the gameplay trailer, it was third person, and that kind of turned me off. Okay, there's a reason I don't play PUBG. It's because people on console, I can play PUBG on PC, but I would rather play other things on PC. I'm not that interested in PUBG, 1. And 2, if I did play it, I would probably play it on PS4 because that's kind of where my skill lies. I'm just not great at mouse and keyboard. I've just been playing with controller for so long. I'm alright with mouse and keyboard. I'm not horrible, but I'm also not good with it. And my preference would be a controller. Now, the reason I don't play PUBG is because everybody's in third person. They're peeking. Nobody wants to play first person mode on console. So that almost makes me kind of not want to play that game, and I feared that would be the case with Rogue Company. I feared that people with third person peek, they would play super passively, and I feared that this would hinder the gameplay experience. But I am here to tell you that this game is probably the best third-person experience I have played, period. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you why. I've already told you about Lancer. Lancer has movement speed. The movement in the game is amazing. You can climb, you can roll, you can run, you can jump. So if somebody is third person peeking around the corner and you hit the corner and they start shooting you, you can roll back into cover. You can vault over something and take cover behind that. There's so many ways that you can get out of the line of fire. As a Lancer, you can just you can vault your cover, hit movement speed, and you'll probably be at that third person peak pretty much basically right as they peak. There's a lot of systems in the game that combat third person peeking. I'll give you a scenario I got into. I was playing on the boat map. I'm not entirely sure or remember what it was called, but there's a lot of shipping containers, and it takes place kind of on a cargo ship, 2 cargo ships that are connected. There were 2 enemies trying to third person peek me behind one cargo container, and I was playing as Dima. Dima has a cluster grenade launcher that bounces off of surfaces. This is perfect for people who want a third person peek. A lot of the cover has things next to it, things behind it that I can bounce these grenades off of. So I shoot my grenade launcher at the cargo container next to them. It bounces to the one that they're on and kills both of them. That's a double kill, and that's what they get for trying to third person peek. There's a lot of systems in the game, and this is why I believe that the game is just so well designed. There's a lot of systems in the game that combat playing that way. There's deployable shields, there's extra movement speed, there's Dallas can mark you. He has a recon ability, so if the MVP is third person peeking everybody, he can mark them. It's just, there's Ronin has her trip mine knife. I can throw it right behind you on the cover. I can throw it basically right at your feet, and it will explode. I can wait for you to peek, and I can basically, if I hit you in the face with a melee weapon, you can throw melee weapons. If I hit you in the face with a throwable melee weapon, you're gonna die immediately. There's just so many ways to discourage this type of gameplay. Secondly, I will say, nextly is not a word. What am I talking about? Am I serious right now? Anyway, secondly, the developers are very experienced people. One of the head developers is Scott Zier. Look him up on LinkedIn. He has been working at Hi-Rez for 14 years now. He worked his way through the ranks to eventually take control of his own game, which is Rogue Company. Lead gameplay director, that is Gandhi. Gandhi is a ex-world champion winning Halo player. That's actually in the dev diary that you can watch on Rogue Company's YouTube channel. I feel as though development studios how can I put this? Make good use of the gaming community. A lot of the players of the games know what makes a good competitive shooter and what makes a bad one. And bringing on somebody that has had legitimate experience in something as competitive as Halo is a big statement for First Watch and Hi-Rez. So it seems to me First Watch Studios is kind of Hi-Rez's A team. I believe that they are kind of Hi-Rez's A team, and they're basically the most sought after developers at Hi-Rez because they are going to be the first development studio to make use of Unreal 4. Paladins and Smite are on Unreal 3. Okay, so the polish isn't really there. The gameplay is great. The visuals are good for Unreal 3 and for the resources that those developers have. But First Watch Studios will have so much more resources on a whole different engine with more space and just more everything. Everything will be bigger. Everything will be more polished. It will be closer. This is one step closer for Hi-Rez to being a AAA level developer. And it shows in the game. If you have it on PC, you crank the graphics up, or you look at the gameplay trailer, that is what the gameplay looks like for the most part. Maybe not down to a T because of it being in alpha right now, but when the game comes out, it's going to look basically like the gameplay trailer, maybe even a little bit better, and that it looks amazing. Everything looks good. The UI needs work, but it is in alpha. They're going for a Rainbow Six kind of UI. You got logos for all the characters at the top of the screen. You got scoreboard at the top of the screen. Time for the round. All that good stuff. The game seems like it's going to be a huge step for high-res. They put their best team on it with their best engine. And they got ex-pro Halo players, seniors in the company to be working on this. Their best people possible. The artists seem like they're doing a great job drawing these characters. All the character models look amazing. That's the best part about the alpha right now. All the player models in the game look amazing. All the characters look amazing. This game is also going to come out on every single platform imaginable. There's a mobile version. There's a Switch version. There's a version for both consoles, and there's a PC version. The game is going to be big on consoles, I believe, and let me tell you why. I feel as though with Valorant coming out, it's not going to be able to catch that much traction on PC, except for the high-res community. People who play high-res games play high-res games. They just gravitate towards them. They're free to play. It's just a style of game that they make that's just fun to these people. Okay, so those people will gravitate on PC towards Rogue Company, or people who aren't really a fan of the Counter-Strike kind of thing. I do feel as though Counter-Strike has established themselves as kind of their own genre. Valorant and Counter-Strike are kind of in their own genre. I kind of want to call it like an esports shooter. So them having their own genre and that genre being super big on PC, a new something competitive on console could catch a lot of traction. I think Rogue Company will be that. Not only is it competitive, it's super visually appealing. So I feel as though the game will be for everybody. Kind of like how Paladins is. Paladins, like these casual games I have on the screen on Paladins, I was having a blast playing these. Just, trying to punch people, trying to get people to fly off the map, just playing Androxus, nether stepping around, not really trying super hard, but having a fun time. And then when you get into ranked, the game is a very competitive space. It's a balanced space. There's ban phases. There's all of that good stuff. So those are the reasons I think Rogue Company will be a success. If you enjoyed, please drop a like on the video. Check out Rogue Company this summer. It's coming out May, June, July area, we're thinking. There's not a set release date yet, but it will be out on every console. So anywhere you're gaming at, you will be able to play Rogue Company. You'll be able to hop in and have a good time. Peace out. That's all I got to say for today.